Welcome to the Localpreneur Show, a podcast dedicated to featuring community-based entrepreneurs, the principles they live by, and the success they're having making a difference in the world. Here's your host, Austin Kane.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Localpreneur Show. Super excited to feature this guest here today and have them share their story on how they're impacting their local communities and changing the lives of the people that are around them. Today we've got Stephen with Cenvar Roofing out of Lynchburg, Virginia. That's where their headquarters are. But really they're spread out across the entire state in multiple different locations. Stephen, let me turn things over to you here for a second and tell everybody a little bit about who you are, and a little bit about the company and y'all's background.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Austin. Appreciate it. I'm the marketing manager for Cenvar Roofing. I've been with the company for just under 2 years right now, but the company has been used to be a Lynchburg roofing company, and now it changed the name 3 years ago to Cenvar Roofing. We've been in business for 10 years as a roofing company. Started out as this contractor building homes, and when the financial crisis, the housing crisis came around in 2008, that's when they shifted to do just residential roofing, and we really picked up since that. So I've been around for 10 years there in the roofing business. But yeah, we got 6 independent locations. We've got a 7th that's just a little standalone, just as we grow for our outer rings, as we continue growing, and just love the communities that we're in.
Very cool. Very cool. And again, why we're here today for anyone that might be listening for the first time, really we're here to highlight how Cenvar Roofing is impacting their local community. That's what this Localpreneur Show is all about. It's highlighting these local and home service companies, how they're making that difference in their communities, how they're shaping the lives of the people around them, how they're giving back, they're changing lives. So we're here to tell that story today. Stephen, let's start with y'all's impact the impact that your organization is making in your local community. What are some of the things you guys are doing to plug yourself into organizations or charities or local groups around you, and how are you changing the lives of those people?
Yep. So there used to be a program where a bunch of roofing contractors would come together and do like a giveaway of a roof. And we participated in that for a while until the program was shut down. The people who were heading that up could no longer continue doing it. So we always wanted to continue giving back to communities. So what we started to do, since that was no longer an option to be a part of, was we allocated a budget to each of these branches and say, hey, this is something that we're going to initiate of Cenvar Gives. And so that's what we do for each of the branches. Each general manager of each location has their own budget to figure out, okay, what are the needs of the community? How can we best serve that? Whether that be through what we do best of roofing, or whether that be through helping a nonprofit, helping a charity, helping just someone in need who it may fall outside of roofing. So there are a lot of different avenues. How we go about finding that is a lot of people will reach out to us just because they know we've done giving back initiatives in the past, and or our eyes and ears are just to the ground. Our general managers will just hear of someone in need through maybe a church that they're involved in, or a nonprofit that they're fond of. Just really being attentive to what they're hearing the community say. I know one thing that we've done in the past just with giving away a roof is just hearing that, someone just could not afford it. I mean, it's pretty easy to tell when someone needs a roof and they just continue to do patch job after patch job. Absolutely. And their whole roof is multiple different colors. So those ones stand out and are very easy to see when there might be a need to that extent. But a lot of it's just keeping your eyes and ears open and trying to figure out what the true need is of the community.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, there's a lot of different things to plug yourself into. And like you said about the, giving the roof away or something. I mean, yeah, that's one of those things, nobody ever wakes up and I tell this to all of our roofing clients or any roofing company I talk to, nobody wakes up wanting to replace their roof. Nobody has the bright idea of wanting to spend tens of thousands of dollars when they wake up in the morning. It's always repair, and the inevitable is going to happen at some point in time. But yeah, being able to help somebody that is in need, that maybe they just, they couldn't afford it, they didn't have the means to do it, whatever it might be, to check that off their list and say, this is something you don't have to worry about anymore. Obviously impacts them in a whole different way, because now that their livelihood at home and their comfort at home is now could probably be greatly increased. So on the topic of that, that's kind of really the next question I was going to ask, in terms of free work. This is something that really a lot of home service companies, they don't necessarily talk about it. It would sound more like you guys are patting yourselves on the back if you walk around talking about all the free work you did. But tell a story about, there was somebody that had that time and need, and what was the impact that you saw being made across your team and the person you guys did that work for?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a balance. It's hard because you want to be a company that is involved in the community, unless the community know that you are involved and you are giving back, but you don't want to be like, hey, choose us because we do this type of thing. You want to do it because of the good nature. And that's something that even the executives of the company we're talking about this morning, just talking about servant leadership and what is why do we exist, to serve the community, to serve the people on the company. But in terms of free work, I mean, there's for our Richmond location, just like a month ago, the general manager let me know, hey, we're going to give part of our budget to this person who ended up having her roof replaced, but she had no more money left over for gutters. And that's something that we provide. Gutters go pretty well with the roof and are very vital. Otherwise, the roof isn't going to last as long. And so it's just, okay, we'll provide the gutters. Everything, we'll just give it to you for free. Now you're taken care of. You don't have to worry about this anymore. And so we've done that in the past, or even just a roof or a repair. That's we love being able to do what we do best, and that's the roofing side of things. So when it comes down to it, people in the community may let us know, hey, this member so and so, their mother has been going through cancer, or their family member is going through this extremely hard time. They have no money whatsoever to pay for a roof, and they are in dire need. There's buckets in the hallway. Their roof is coming down. Like, that's a dire need.
Yeah,
and that's something that we can provide for relatively a cheap cost. Generally, these are not $400,000, $500,000 homes in our market. These are generally at the lower income. So it's really not that much for us to do it, and it blesses them just astronomically, because now they can have a roof over their head and have that security and not having water come in. So yeah, we encounter that through all of our branches, and each of our GMs are really looking to see, hey, what is the need real, first of all, because we don't want to show up and give a roof to someone who has a bunch of Mercedes in the driveway, or like that's actually happened to us in the past, of where they say, hey, we have this need, and you go there and there's all these material possessions. That we want to make sure there's actually the need for when we do give something away for free, and we're investing back into helping someone else out.
No, absolutely. I think that's some great stories to share about that. And yeah, I think when it comes to it, I mean, obviously, I would say the roof is probably one of the most important things about people's houses. Like, you can live with miscolored paint on the walls and maybe 10 different floors in your house, even though it's not aesthetically pleasing. But yeah, if your roof's coming down, or you've got water coming in, and maybe it changes the temperature in your house. I mean, yeah, that's one of the biggest parts of being comfortable in your home, knowing that the roof over your head is secure. And so being able to reach out to somebody that is in need and do that for them, like I said, it probably impacts them a whole heck of a lot more than it impacts us. And those are just kind of feel good stories for you guys to be able to help change the lives of the people that are around you and in your community. Stephen, what about also your talking about your organization? Are you guys doing a whole lot when it comes to your local communities, and you're doing this work to better the people of the lives around you? But what about the people in your organization? What are some of the things that your company's doing to help impact the people that are actually there, whether it be training or, bettering you guys personally or professionally, or, maybe is there a story that somebody was within the company and now they run their own business from what they learned, while working with you guys?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, we definitely have a lot of like continuing education programs for the people that work here. The owner knows that not everyone is meant to work here for their whole life, and if there's a better place for you in the future years, he wants this company to be a stepping stone for you to get there. So it's not like, hey, you don't have ability to be here in 5 years. If your ability is not to be here in 5 years, let's find out how to get you to that next step so you can continue improving. And that's something that now we do have a non-compete. So for our controlled area of our markets, where we don't want to just send people out and be like, okay, now our secret sauce of doing well in the community and be our competitor. But we want to send them out and say, hey, you guys are entitled to continue growing. This is your livelihood. This is what we want you to see, that this organization is existing to serve other people. So whether that be in the roofing industry or whether that be maybe for my creative designer or for another spot, what can I do to help him get to that next step? And so that's something that that's been really interesting being a part of this company. Just with, like I said this morning, the executive team went through a book discussion about servant leadership. What's the higher purpose? It's not just about roofing. It's not just about this one business. There's just a community of people. So how can we help serve each other? And so that's one of our core values is servant leadership. We're always looking for growth as well, which is another one. And so that's something that we always encourage a lot of reading and development there. Absolutely. And then making sure people are a part of that. So ties back into the giving back to our community. We expect our team members to be pointing out needs of others and being able to be the hands and feet of Cenvar, saying, hey, this is something that we can help serve with. How can we be involved in our communities? Like we want you guys to be a part of this as well. So not just corporate headquarters down, this is what we're doing, but hands and feet on the ground saying, hey, this is the need. This is how we'd like to grow. This is how we'd like to see the company grow as well.
Yeah. And I think that's when, you really have, everybody's bought in, when everybody's playing a part, and they're not just playing the part because they have to, and that's who's paying them in there. And that's what they're telling them to do. It's, your techs and your sales guys and everybody within the company, they're coming up with these ideas. They're bringing these opportunities of, hey, here's the needs in our community. They have the desire to help everyone in their area too, because I think that's when you really see that what you guys are doing is impacting everyone around you. They're not doing it to do it. They're doing it because they want to do it. And they want to be just as involved as you guys are. So, I think I hear that really a lot on a lot of these episodes, is that all the employees, they're just as involved or even more involved than, the people that created the opportunities, because, they see on the day-to-day everything that's being done, and they're all in, they buy into it, and they want to do their part. So and I think that's what this is all about. So Stephen, any last thoughts or last comments that you wanted to leave with anybody that might be listening here today?
Yeah, I mean, if you're listening today and wondering about the importance of being tied into your community, I think it's just goes to show the level of commitment that you have to that city. If you're going to be coming and going into a city just to do work and then leaving and never touching it again, it's not going to have the impact. So if you want to stay in that spot, get plugged in and see how you can help. I mean, there's Habitat for Humanities that we've done plenty of work with in all of our locations. There's many nonprofits, whether that just be just humanitarian wise or whatever you can think of. I mean, it really goes to show that you're out for the long haul and that you're existing for a higher purpose. So existing for that community, and that's that's the balance between servant leadership and also competition. If people can see that your organization is serving others, you're going to be chosen. If that's valued, if that's actually true, and they can see that and be clear. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. You're building that trust mentality where you guys aren't just there for the dollar, which obviously everybody's here to make money. That's the goal of running the business. But part of it is also you're here to give back, and you're here to take care of the people around you, because those are your customers.
Yep.
You want them to feel that. So Stephen, I appreciate you sharing all this with us today, and I hope everybody listening is able to take a little bit away from the conversation today with Stephen at Cenvar Roofing, and looking forward to the next episode and sharing even more stories with you guys. So Stephen, thanks for joining today, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks again for listening to the Localpreneur Show. For more of our daily content, feel free to check out Josh or Austin's LinkedIn.